Okay, good afternoon to all of you. Let's start with a new topic today. The fifth unit we are starting today, and our fifth unit title is the economics and the management. And basically, in this unit, we'll see the most important things like related with the inflation, then the consumer price index, and annual worth analysis. Okay, these are the new things that we'll learn in this fifth unit. And here today we are starting with the two important points we will discuss today. And so first point is quite lengthy. Sorry, second point, that is the equivalence calculation under the inflation. In that we will study the concept of the inflation, various definitions of the inflations, and types of the inflation, reasons behind the inflations. Okay, these different things we will study under this topic. So first point as an introduction today we have, that is quite related with the title itself, that is the introduction to the economics and the management. So already related with the economics also, in the previous topics also we have done the discussion. What do you mean by the economics? Okay, so what is the concept of economics? How you can describe the economics? Yes. What is economics? Yes, anybody? How you can describe the economics? Yes. We have studied it or not? Whether we have studied it or not? What do you mean by the economics? Yes, nobody knows what do you mean by the economics?
Economics is the analysis of universal type of problems.
What kind of problems?
Means marketing, industrial.
How many times we have discussed the definition of the economics? So you are not doing nothing at home. What study you are doing? Yes. Have you made any kind of notes from the lecture? Nothing. You are not doing anything. Yes. If you are taking the notes from the lecture, then definitely. Yes.
Economics is a social science which deals with human behavior. Which deals with the human behavior related to production, consumption, exchange of goods.
What about the other student? Sana Ansari, Sanjana Pradip. These students never speak up in the lecture. So why they are attending the lecture? Hmm? Prajakta Arkhade, Priti Thorat. If you after the lecture, if you are not doing the study and just attending the online lectures, then there is a no use of this. Okay. So it's up to you what to do. I'm doing my job. So whether to study or not, it's up to you. Okay. So number of times we have discussed what exactly mean by the economics with example की तुमचे घरातले example सुद्धा मी तुम्हाला दिलेले आहेत की घरामधले economics म्हणजे काय. These things already I have taught you. Okay. So economics, if you see the technical definition, so different scientists have their definitions related with the economics. So according to the Karl Marx, economics is nothing but the social science which deals with the human nature or the behavior related with the production, consumption, exchange of goods, services, and the resources. Means how the human beings produces the different goods and services, how the human being utilize that goods and services. That is how human being consume that goods and services. So that all the decision related with the production of the goods and services and consumption of the goods and services and other resource, that is nothing but the referred as a economics. So it is just not related with the individual persons or the, it is not related with just the businesses, but it is also related with all other these things, individual, business, nations, everybody, every state. Okay. So everybody is have to maintain their economy, and economy can be maintained well if the decision related with the economics are being done properly. So this is, I have mentioned it, here, the economics is study how individual, business, governments, and nation make the choices and the decision about the allocating the scarce resources. So scarce resources in the sense the kind of goods and services we have. So we don't have the goods and services unlimited. Okay, we have the limited goods and services, limited money. So how you are making the utilization of that limited goods and services, and how you are completing and satisfying your needs and the want, that is also being considered as a economics. Okay. So also in different way you can explain the economics as a social science related with the how human being does the production, how human being does the distribution, consumption of goods and services, and how the human being manages this production of the goods and services, consumption of the goods and services. So this science related with all these kind of things is nothing but the called as a economics. Okay. And if you see the management, so management is nothing but suppose if you are having your company, you are CEO of your company. Now how you are assigning the work to the employees of your company, how you are getting the work done from your employees of the company, how you are assigning the work to the different resources which are present in your company. Now each business companies are having the different resources, like human resources are there, financial, technological, and the natural. These kind of resources are available. So management is nothing but how you are managing all these kind of resources, how you are handling all these kind of resources and getting the work done of your company, and how you are reaching to the objective of your company, how you are reaching to the goals of your company. So these things are comes under the part of the management. So here also I have mentioned in the short, management means nothing but the giving the direction or giving the guidance and controlling group of people or an organization to reach the goal. To control the group of the people in the sense the people who are working in your organization, how the guide, how you are giving, how you are guiding to that employees, how you are controlling that employees, how you are assigning work to that employees, how you are getting the work done from that all of your employees, etc. etc. So that all the things comes under the management. So in short, we can also say management is concerned with the effective use and coordination of the different materials and labors which are available in the organization. Different materials in the sense whatever the raw materials are available, how you are adjusting that raw material to produce the final product, how you are handling the labor in the sense how you are handling the employees of your company, employees of all the levels, how you are managing all these what we can say the human resources. So labor comes under the human resources. Okay. And in the technological resources, machineries comes, financial resources, money comes. Okay. So how you are managing all these things to reach to your company objective or to complete your company's objectives, these all the things comes under the category of management. Okay, so you can refer the any definition out of this for the management. Now main point that today we have to discuss, that is nothing but the this equivalence calculation under the inflation. So mainly here we have to discuss the particular point of what exactly is the inflation is, what are the different definitions of the inflation, and how exactly we can describe the inflation concept of the inflation. Okay, so you must have heard in your home your grandparents or your parents are also used to say when they were in their childhood age, then within 100 rupees they can bought the number of things. ओके, तुमच्या घरी तुमचे जर आजोबा वगैरे असतील तर ते सांगतात बघा की त्यांच्या काळामध्ये 100 रुपयामध्ये पूर्ण महिनाभराचा बाजार येत असेल. किंवा तुम्ही तुमच्या पॅरेंट्सला जरी विचारलं तर ते सुद्धा तुम्हाला सांगू शकतील की त्यांच्या काळामध्ये 100 रुपयामध्ये आठवडाभराचा बाजार यायचा. ओके, सो फ्रॉम दॅट वी कॅन से की that time money has the lot of value. What that time money has the lot of value. So because that time as your grandparents must be saying, तुमचे घरी आजोबा तुम्हाला सांगत असतील की आमच्या काळामध्ये 100 रुपयामध्ये पूर्ण महिन्याचा जो खर्च असेल घराचा तो आपण कंप्लीट करू शकत होतो. ओके, 100 रुपयामध्ये. बट इफ यू सी द टुडेज टाइम, आता जर तुम्ही बघितलं आणि आता आता जे तुम्ही पेमेंट्स बघितले की त्यावेळेस फॉर एक्झाम्पल शिक्षकांना पेमेंट असं, फॉर एक्झाम्पल जर तुमच्या आजोबांच्या काळातलं जर तुम्ही बघितलं, जर शिक्षकांना 5,000 रुपये पेमेंट असेल, दिस काइंड ऑफ पेमेंट्स वेअर देअर 5,000. ओके, बिफोर 30 इयर्स, 35-40 इयर्स. तर आता हे जे पगार आहेत, फॉर एक्झाम्पल जर तुम्ही प्रायमरी टीचरचे झेडपीचे जे टीचर्स आहेत त्यांचे जर पगार बघितलं तर हे आता 50,000च्या आसपास आहे. ओके, ज्यांचे पॅरेंट्स वगैरे कोण शिक्षक असतील त्यांना माहित असेल, बरोबर. सो सॅलरी विच वेअर देअर इन द पास्ट, की तुमच्या आजोबाच्या काळामध्ये ज्या सॅलरीज होत्या शिक्षकांना, तर त्या सॅलरी आता कितीतरी पटीने वाढलेल्या आहेत. 10, फॉर एक्झाम्पल आता हे 10 पटीने वाढले जवळपास. ओके, अँड इवन टुडे ऑल्सो इफ यू सी की एखाद्याला 1,00,000 रुपये जरी पगार असेल, किती 1,00,000 रुपये जरी पगार असेल, स्टील त्या 1,00,000मध्ये सुद्धा त्यांचे जो घराचा खर्च असतो, जो 1 महिन्यासाठी त्यांना जो खर्च लागतो घर चालवण्यासाठी, तर त्या 1,00,000मध्ये सुद्धा ते त्यांना ऍडजस्ट करणं थोडं आता कठीण जाते. ओके, सो व्हाय दिस इज, व्हॉट इज द रिझन बिहाइंड दॅट. जर जुन्या काळामध्ये 100 रुपयामध्ये एका महिन्याचा खर्च कंप्लीट होत होता, तर तुम्ही आता जर बघितलं तर 100 रुपयामध्ये एका दिवसाचा बाजार सुद्धा आपण घेऊ शकत नाही. इज इट द रिअल फॅक्ट, येस ऑर नो? आणि त्या काळामधले जर तुम्ही पेमेंट्स बघितले वेगवेगळ्या, फक्त शिक्षकांनाच नाही, जर वेगवेगळ्या प्रोफेशन मध्ये काम करणारे जे माणसं आहेत त्यांचे त्या काळामधले पेमेंट बघितले 30, 35, 40 वर्षापूर्वीचे आणि आता जे पेमेंट्स आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये कितीतरी फरक आहे. की ते पेमेंट्स आता जवळपास 10 पटीने वाढलेले आहेत, जवळपास 10 पटीने वाढलेले आहेत. अंडरस्टूड. आणि तरी सुद्धा तेवढ्या पेमेंट मध्ये आपण महिनाभराचा आपला खर्च भागवण्यासाठी अडचणी येतात. इज इट करेक्ट ऑर नॉट?
Yes, sir.
So what is the reason behind that? Yes.
Production low, day to day.
Can't hear you properly. Yes, repeat. नाही, आवाज येत नाही. Yes, what can be the reason, other student? What can be the reason? परदेशी, सना अंसारी, Puri Sneha, Prajakta Arkhade. So those students were never used to speak, definitely they are going to get the less marks. I'm telling these things from the first lecture on.
Increase in the journal price level. Increase in जर्नल प्राइस म्हणजे रोजच्या रोज जे आपण सामान वगैरे खरेदी करतोय त्याच्यात महागाई जास्त वाढत चालली आहे दिवसेंदिवस.
What is your name?
संजना परदेशी.
So that is the reason. Reason is what? की वस्तूच्या ज्या किमती आहेत ते तुमच्या पेमेंट जे वाढलेलं आहे त्याच्यापेक्षा कितीतरी पटीने आणखीन वाढले. इज इट लाईक दॅट? करेक्ट?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is the reason behind that is nothing but की महागाई वाढली. करेक्ट? कशामुळे? महागाई वाढली. And that is nothing but the inflation. तर मग हे जे मी तुम्हाला उदाहरण दिले की तुमच्या आजोबांच्या काळामधले 100 रुपयामध्ये येणाऱ्या गोष्टी, त्या काळचे पेमेंट्स, आता सध्याच्या घडीला 100 रुपयामध्ये आपण काय परचेस करू शकतो, आताचे वेगवेगळे प्रोफेशन मध्ये जे लोक काम करतात त्यांना असणारे पेमेंट्स, आणि याच्यामधली जी तफावत आहे, याच्यामधला जो डिफरन्स आहे, तर त्याला मेन रिझन जे आहे, द रिझन बिहाइंड दॅट, टू अंडरस्टँड दॅट रिझन we have to understand the concept of what? Inflation. So inflation in Marathi, inflation ला आपण काय म्हणतो? महागाई. Okay. So main problem behind all these things is nothing but what? Inflation. And that is we have to study today. What exactly is this? So related with the inflation, there are the various kind of definitions are there. Different economists, अर्थशास्त्री जे आहेत, वेगवेगळे जे अर्थशास्त्र आहेत, they have given the different definition of the inflation based on their interpretation, based on their analysis, based on their understanding of the concept. These are the following some definitions of the inflation that we are going to see. In the exams also you will get the question, 4 marks question can be possible, explain the definitions of the inflation. So as I say, the different economists and the scientists have made their definition. So first one we have, so first definition we have according to the Edward Shapiro. So Edward Shapiro has defined the inflation as a persistent and appreciable rise in the general level of prices. What? A persistent and appreciable rise in the general level of prices. आता let me give you the example and tell me which you can call as a inflation. Okay. Suppose आता तुम्ही दिवाळीच्या दिवशी किंवा दसऱ्याच्या दिवशी बघितलं असेल, झेंडूच्या फुलांच्या किमती 200च्या आसपास गेल्या होत्या, बरोबर? जर तुम्ही मार्केटमध्ये जात असाल, घरातली काम करत असाल तर तुम्हाला या गोष्टी माहित असतील. झेंडूच्या फुलाच्या किमती होत्या आसपास 200 रुपये त्या ज्या दिवशी सण होता त्या दिवशी, बरोबर? पण तुम्ही जर त्याच्या दुसऱ्या दिवशी बघितलं तर ह्या किमती 200च होत्या का? झेंडूच्या फुलाच्या
कमी झाले.
कमी, म्हणजे ते 50-100च्या आसपास होत्या, बरोबर? बरोबर, अंडरस्टूड. पण तुम्ही जर बघितलं पेट्रोल, फॉर एक्झाम्पल पेट्रोल, जर पेट्रोलच्या किमती आज किती आहे तुम्हाला माहिती आहे का? आता तुम्ही ओके, सम ऑफ यू माइट बी नॉट नोईंग, पण पेट्रोलच्या किमती जर तुम्ही 4-5 महिन्यापूर्वी बघितल्या तर ते आसपास होत्या 80 ते 82-83च्या आसपास होत्या. पण आता जर बघितल्या तर ते 90च्या आसपास आहे, 89-90च्या आसपास आहे. बरोबर. पण हे 4 महिन्यामध्ये हे 82, आता असं झालं का हे 82च्या लगेच 89 झाले, असं झालं का? का हे 82 नंतर 82.50 83 पॉईंट असं हळूहळू वाढत गेलंय, बरोबर?
हो.
येस.
पण हे जर बघितलं तुम्ही झेंडूच्या फुलाचं, तर ते एकदम वाढली प्राइस, की काल 150 होती, आज डायरेक्ट 200 झाली. तर याच्यामधल्या कुठल्याला आपण इन्फ्लेशन म्हणू? याला इन्फ्लेशन म्हणता येईल का, याला इन्फ्लेशन म्हणता येईल का, दोघांनाही इन्फ्लेशन म्हणता येईल?
पेट्रोल.
पेट्रोलला, एक्झॅक्टली. सेकंड केसला आपण का म्हणू शकणार नाही इन्फ्लेशन? Yes, why can't we say the second case as inflation? Yes.
सर गरजेनुसार त्याची प्राइस वाढवता कमी करते असं.
कारण सेकंड केस जे आहे, झेंडूच्या फुलाची जी केस आहे, तर ते एक इव्हेंटसाठी ती एक प्राइस इन्क्रीज झाली होती फक्त. कशासाठी? एक इव्हेंटसाठी. येस ऑर नो? ती त्याला आपण पर्सिस्टंट राईज इन द प्राइस म्हणता येईल का? झेंडूच्या फुलाची जी प्राइस वाढली त्याला पर्सिस्टंट म्हणजे काय? स्टेप बाय स्टेप. येस ऑर नो? करेक्ट. येस. पर्सिस्टंट म्हणजे काय? की अशा पद्धतीने, लाईक दिस, स्टेप बाय स्टेप. हे झालं पेट्रोलचं. पण झेंडूच्या फुलाची कशी झाली? लाईक दिस. करेक्ट. येस ऑर नो?
Yes, sir.
So persistent, the price of the certain product need to be increased persistent, means step by step, and there must be a logical reason behind that. Then that particular increase of the price is called as a inflation. This is according to the Edward Shapiro. Understood this definition?
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
what the Crowther says, another scientist or the economist, Crowther says, inflation as a state in which the value of money is falling. It is the situation or the state in which the value of money is falling. Can anybody tell me what is this? Can anybody give the example related with this definition? A state in which value of the money is falling. म्हणजे काय? ओके. आता नाशिकमध्ये बरेच कांद्याचा बऱ्याच जणांचा, म्हणजे शेतकरी बरेच जण कांद्याचं उत्पादन घेतात, बरोबर? मागच्या एक 4-5 महिन्यापूर्वी किंवा 1 वर्षापूर्वी असं कंडिशन आली होती की बघा, की बरेच दिवस कांद्याच्या किमती या 10 रुपये, 15 रुपये, 5 रुपये अशा होत्या का पर किलो?
हो.
बरोबर ना?
Yes, sir.
बरेच दिवस या किमती 5, 10, 15 या याच्यामध्ये होत्या. आज किती प्राइस आहे कांद्याची पर किलोग्राम?
100.
40, 50.
50-60 अशा आहे. मला वाटतं मागच्या 2-3 महिन्यापूर्वी 100 पर्यंत पण गेला होता, बरोबर ना?
हो.
म्हणजे आपण आज जर 60 ते 70, बरोबर? मग 4-5 महिन्यापूर्वी जर तुम्ही 10 किलो पर किलोग्राम कांदा धरला, तर 100 रुपयामध्ये तुम्हाला किती येत होता कांदा? 10 रुपये किलो घेतलं तुम्ही, बरोबर? 10 रुपीज पर किलोग्राम. 10 किलो घेऊ शकत होता तुम्ही, बरोबर? करेक्ट.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
आता ही 60-70 आहे. आता बरं ठीक आहे, 50च धरा तुम्ही. किती? 50च धरा. मग तुम्ही 100 रुपयामध्ये आता किती घेऊ शकता सांगा मला?
2 किलो.
2 किलो. म्हणजे इथं तुम्ही 100 रुपयामध्ये 10 किलो घेऊ शकत होता, पण इथं काय होतंय 100 रुपयामध्ये 2च किलो. इथं काय होतंय, कॅन एनीबडी टेल मी, इज इट कॉल ॲज अ व्हॅल्यू ऑफ मनी इज फॉलिंग?
Yes, sir.
So this is nothing but the second definition according to the Crowther, who says a state in which the value of money is falling, that is also called as a inflation. Understood second definition?
Yes, sir.
Then Professor Samuelson, what Professor Samuelson says about inflation, he says inflation occurs when the general level of prices and cost is rising. So this is the general definition. Okay, this is the general definition. Inflation occurs when general level of prices and the cost are rising. There is no need of example for that definition. Another also three scientists, there are various scientists have, economists have given their definition. We are just discussing some of that. So fourth, Milton has made his analysis regarding the inflation. What he says, inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomena and can be produced only by a more rapid increase in the quantity of money than output. Just read it and try to understand if you can, otherwise I explain you. What inflation is always and everywhere. काय इन्फ्लेशन हे नेहमीच असणार आहे आणि सगळीकडेच असणार आहे, because it is what, it is the monetary phenomenon. Monetary in the sense it is related with the money, and when the money is produced, when there is a rapid increase in the quantity of money than output, you have to concentrate on this, where when there is a rapid increase in the quantity of money than output. Then output, what is the meaning of this output? Yes, last time also when I told you the one thing, I told you to search on how much money particular country can print. That time also I told you, तर पर्टिक्युलर कंट्री हे कितीही पैसे प्रिंट करू शकते, पण मोठ्या खूप जास्त प्रमाणात पैसे जर प्रिंट केले तर त्याचे दुष्परिणाम काय होतात ते एका मुलीने पण मला, गर्ल स्टुडंटने सांगितलं होतं. शी हॅज गिवन द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ झिम्बाब्वे कंट्री. ओके, बट जर तुमच्या देशाची इकॉनॉमी तुम्हाला स्टेबल कंडिशन मध्ये ठेवायची असेल तर तुम्ही पैसे किती प्रोड्यूस करू शकता, तर त्याच्यासाठी काही रूल्स आहेत. तर किती करू शकता, की तुमच्या देशामध्ये जेवढे काही गुड्स अँड सर्व्हिसेस आहेत, काय तुमच्या देशामध्ये जेवढे काही गुड्स अँड सर्व्हिसेस आहे, मग गुड्स अँड सर्व्हिसेस मध्ये सगळ्या गोष्टी आल्या, पेट्रोल डिझेल पासून अन्नधान्य भाजीपाला जमीन सगळ्या गोष्टी आल्या. ओके, तर तुमच्या देशामध्ये ह्या गुड्स अँड सर्व्हिसेसची जेवढी प्राइस आहे तेवढ्याच प्रमाणात तुम्ही काय केले पाहिजे, पैसे प्रिंट केले पाहिजे. ओके, बट व्हॉट द मिल्टन सेज, मिल्टन सेड करेक्टली, तुम्ही जर पैसे किती प्रिंट केले, मोर दॅन आउटपुट. Here, if there is a rapid increase in the quantity of money than output, goods and services ची जी प्राइस आहे त्याच्यापेक्षा जर जास्त मनी तुम्ही प्रिंट केले, then also inflation can increase. Getting the definition? Yes, जर पर्टिक्युलर देशामध्ये जेवढे गुड्स अँड सर्व्हिसेस आहेत त्याच्यापेक्षा जर जास्त पैसे प्रिंट केले आणि सरकारने ते पैसे लोकांमध्ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूट केले, बरोबर, तर लोकांना त्या पैशाची किंमत राहील का?
No.
लोक प्रत्येक जण काही ना काही गोष्टी विकत घेण्यासाठी प्रयत्न करेल, बरोबर. If everybody try to buy something, demand will increase or decrease? Yes, if everybody try to buy something, demand of the products will increase or decrease? Increase. बरोबर ना. तुमच्याकडे जास्त प्रमाणात पैसे आले तर तुम्ही जास्तीत जास्त काहीतरी ते you will go for purchasing anything, yes or no? And if the demand increase, पण त्याच्यासोबत जर सप्लाय इन्क्रीज झाली नाही, बरोबर, सप्लाय इन्क्रीज झाली नाही, तर इन्फ्लेशन वाढेल का कमी होईल?
वाढेल.
Definitely inflation will increase, and that is being said by the Milton. Inflation is what is always and everywhere a monetary phenomena, can be produced only by more rapid increase in the quantity of money than the output. So this is being said by the Milton. Then another economist, Dr. T.E.Gregory says, inflation is the state of abnormal increase in the quantity of purchasing power. Inflation is what? State of abnormal increase in the quantity of purchasing power. So this is just like the Milton definition. Can you explain me what do you mean by the abnormal increase in the quantity of purchasing power? Yes. What do you mean by the abnormal increase in the quantity of purchasing power? When the purchasing power of human being can be increased. Okay, here we are discussing the fifth definition of inflation. According to the Dr. T.E.Gregory, what he says, inflation is the state of abnormal increase in the quantity of purchasing power. So my question, when the purchasing power of human being can increase more than the normal level, that is called as abnormal. Yes, all of you got the question. When the purchasing power of human being can be increased more than the normal, when it can happen? Yes, question समजला का सांगा अगोदर. Yes, no, say something. Shall I repeat the question?
Yes, sir.
What I am asking, when the purchasing power of human being can be increased more than the normal. Purchasing means what?
To buy.
To buy. So when the purchasing power of human being म्हणजे काय? माणसं. When the purchasing power of human being can be increased more than the normal, that is the question. कधी होऊ शकतं असं? Yes. When it can happen? माणसांकडे खूप कमी प्रमाणात पैसे असेल तर त्याची पर्चेसिंग पॉवर कमी असेल का जास्त? Yes. When the human being will not have the sufficient amount of money, then his purchasing power will be more or the less?
Less.
Less. And when it can be increased more than the normal.
When they have more money.
When the human being have the more amount of money. Understood? So that is being said here by the Gregory.
Yes, sir.
Inflation is the state of abnormal increase in the quantity of purchasing power. So abnormal increase in the quantity of purchasing power can be happen only if the people will have the very large amount of money with them. Yes or no? People will have the large amount of money supply with them. And if the people will have the large amount of money supply with them, then their purchasing power increase. And if the purchasing power of people's increase, tell me, demand will increase or decrease?
Increase.
Increase. And if there is a abnormal demand in the, if there is an increase in the demand, which is more than the supply, then there comes the inflation. Understood? Understood the fifth definition?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then sixth one by the Professor Coulbourn. Now this is also the important one. The Coulbourn says inflation is a situation where there is a too much money. What? Inflation is a situation where there is a too much money chasing too few goods. What? When there is a too much money chasing the too few goods. Tell me the meaning of this. What? There is a too much money chasing the too few goods. Yes. Let me give the example. For example, there is a 100 kilogram of rice is available. How much? 100 kilogram. Just I am giving you the example of rice as a product. And there are many peoples are there. Okay, many peoples are there. Okay. And that many peoples, everybody want to purchase the rice. Okay, everybody want to purchase the rice. So everybody is having the money with them. What? Everybody is having the money with them. Suppose 200 peoples are there. They want to purchase the rice. Now they are having the money with them. Now tell me what will happen in this situation. Everybody want the rice. Then what will happen? Some one person will come. He will say, I will give you 1000 rupees per kilogram. What? I will give you 1000 rupees for 1 kilogram. You give me the rice. Second person might come, he might say, I will give you 2000 rupees for 1 kilogram. Give me the rice. Third person might come, he will say, I will give you the 3000 rupees for 1 kilogram. Now tell me what is happening here? Yes, what is happening here?
Inflation.
Why this is happening? Because goods is available, it is in the very less amount.
Less.
But money which are available, they are available in the very what you can say, in the large amount. So that is the definition is saying. So if this is the situation, you can see from 1000 it goes to 2000, 3000, it can go to the any level. Correct or not? So that is the definition is saying, according to Coulbourn, inflation is a situation where there is a too much money chasing in the sense chasing in the sense trying to purchase too much money, chasing too few goods. Too much money in the sense many number of people who are having the money, they are trying to purchase the good, but that good is not available in the sufficient amount. In short, supply of the good is less. So that is being said by the Coulbourn. Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
So these are the different definitions given by these different economists. You can refer the any definition out of these for your examination point of view. Or if the question is 4 marks, then you have to refer all these kind of definitions. Okay. I hope the concept of the inflation is clear. Now, let's see the different based on the definitions that we have discussed. Based on that, there are the various kind of characteristic of the inflations are there. In that, first characteristic is what? First characteristic or feature of the inflation, we can say that it says first characteristic is a continuous and persistent rise in the general price level. First characteristic related with the inflation is what? A continuous and persistent rise in the general price level. Okay, that is we have discussed in only the first definition. So this characteristic is related with the first definition. Okay, so as I have given you the example of that झेंडूचे फुल आणि पेट्रोल की फॉर द प्राइस, जर आपल्याला एखाद्या प्राइसला म्हणा इन्फ्लेशन जर तुम्हाला म्हणायचं असेल, then that price has to be increased step by step. That price has to be increased step by step. पण झेंडूच्या फुलाची जी किंमत आहे ती स्टेप बाय स्टेप इन्क्रीज झालेली का? नाही, ती टेम्पररी इन्क्रीज झालेली प्राइस आहे, बरोबर की नाही? झेंडूच्या फुलाचं जे एक्झाम्पल दिलं, दॅट वॉज द टेम्पररी राईज इन द प्राइस लेवल. येस ऑर नो?
Yes.
येस.
तर त्या टेम्पररी जी प्राइस राईज होते त्याला आपण इन्फ्लेशन म्हणू शकत नाही. तर दॅट इज द फर्स्ट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक इज सेइंग a continuous and persistent rise in the general price level. Okay. Second characteristic, we have a fall in the value of money. What? A fall in the value of money. That is the fifth definition we have seen related with that. This characteristic is there. When the general price level increases, so the prices of the goods and services also get increases, and goods and services are get sold at higher prices. Okay. And this implies that the few goods and services can be purchased with the same amount of money. This signifies that a fall in the value of money. So I have given you the example of onions related with this characteristic. Okay, that is the fall in the value of money. If you understood the definition, then characteristics are also the similar to that. Okay. Then third is the third characteristic is the aggregate demand exceed the aggregate supply. Aggregate demand exceed the aggregate supply. म्हणजे काय की ज्या वेळेस डिमांड ही when the demand get increase more than the supply, when the demand get increase more than the supply, then that is being also characterized as a inflation. So same thing I have, that is being mentioned here. Aggregate demand means what? की एक आपण त्याला aggregate in the sense combined demand get exceed than combined supply. So or average demand get increase as compared with the average supply of the products or goods and services. So during the period of inflation, there is a rise in the aggregate demand. Average demand get increased, but with the demand, the supply not get increased. What? With the demand, supply not get increased, and when this situation occurs, then that being also characterized as a aggregate. That is characterized as a aggregate demand exceed the aggregate supply, and that is being also characterized as one of the characteristic of the inflation. So as you can see, the aggregate demand is high. It indicates that more money is chasing the too few goods. Okay, which also causes the prices of the product or goods to be get increased. So this is the third characteristic related with also with which also we have discussed the definitions. And fourth one is the inflation is the monetary phenomena. Means what? Inflation is related with the money supply. If the money supply get increase in the huge amount, because of the any reasons, then also demand get increase. If the money supply increase, definitely demand will also get increase. And if the demand get increase and if the supply will not get increase according to the demand, then also there is a increase in the general price level. So that is a fourth characteristic. Inflation is what? It is related with the money supply. Okay, there is a direct relationship between the money supply, demand and supply of the product. Okay, so these are the different kind of characteristic that you can have from the definitions that we have discussed. Okay, so this is about the first our 2 points that today we have discussed: the introduction of economics and management, and also one point and we have started the discussion on the inflation, and in that we have discussed about the various definitions of the inflation, and also we have discussed about the uh, characteristic based on the definitions of the inflation. Okay, so right now only after the 2 minutes we'll also see the types of the inflation. Okay, so you just take the break of the 2 minutes. Okay, and just get join after the 2 minutes, and then we'll complete also the various types of the inflation, on which also the 4 to 8 marks question being asked number of times. Okay, yes,
Yes, sir.
okay, just take the 2 minutes break, and at exact 3:30 get join. Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay.